Hey, welcome back, folks. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and also hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of when I post new videos. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. Welcome back. So this lady did a Google search and she said that she found my reviews and decided to call me. She and her husband moved from Manhattan into Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and they bought a beautiful little home here in Bay Ridge, and they had an island sink, and they were used to having a garbage disposal, so they didn't have one in this new house, and they bought a new disposal. Took a look under the sink and couldn't figure out how this was going to be done, and wanted to make sure they found the right guy. And fortunately, my name popped up. I asked them to send me a couple of photos before I actually went over there and took a look at it. And sure enough, it was an island sink. And when I saw the picture, I said, you know what? Let me come over and take a look at this, take some measurements to see if I can do this. And I went over there, took a look, and I think I can do it. I thought I could do it. Well, bottom line is, I did do it, and it turned out pretty well. So stick around. I hope you enjoy. And you don't see too many islands here in Bay Ridge, especially in a home like this. But anyway, I'll be right back. So these people found me, I think, on Google. They Googled my name and they called me in. They have a double sink here on an island and they wanted a disposal installed. And they just looked at the pipes and said, it looked like it wasn't able to be done. So they called me in and I actually went pre-installation to look at it. And I said, I think I can make this work. And yeah, I mean, it's something that you have to sit there and look at and figure out how I'm going to do this. And that's what I did. And this is what I see under the sink. So, like I said, it's an island sink. So they came up and then they went back down with the vent to vent it. And actually, the disposal wouldn't fit because that vent going back down was in the way. So I had to figure out a way to get this in here. And actually, the only way to do it was to get that vent pipe out of the way or scoot it out of the way. But at any rate, so I proceeded to break down some of these lines, remove what was there, and proceeded to take the existing strainer out, um, and try to work this thing out. And after I got the old strainer out, I cleaned off all the residue as I usually do. And in this next frame coming up, what you see down on the bottom is not the blue block. It's actually leak lock. I don't use blue block on my strainers. And then you can see I have my putty on the disposal flange, and you know what these things are like to put in these things with the rings you have to snap on. I had to put my tool bag up top to hold it down while I snapped the ring on. And here's a shot of it. And actually, they had a countertop mounted switch, and I told them I wouldn't drill a hole through the counter. They'd have to get somebody else to do it. And they decided that they were going to make a little change. But one more thing, folks, if you're going to dump your dishwasher into the disposal, make sure you knock out the plastic plug in the disposal. I get phone calls saying from people who hook up their own disposal and then they put the dishwasher hose on there and all of a sudden the dishwasher won't drain. You have to knock out the plug. Public service announcement. So anyway, they bought an auxiliary magnetic switch that works through a little, switch that you put in through the top and twist. I had to mount that and wire it before I placed the disposal back up. And you see that black collar, that's part and parcel of the magnetic switch. That's an accessory that you can buy. And you could operate this with this magnetic switch rather than have a countertop mounted switch. And then as you can see here, what I did was I just scooted over the vent, a couple of offset 45s, and I had to cut that line coming up out of the bottom. I did have to use the grinder to get it down lower to the cabinet. Here's another angle of it, and you can see the disposal's all lined up. It's plugged in, and yeah, I mean, it kind of worked out all right. It's going to be a little crazy if anything stops up, but I figure in the future, if they call me for a stoppage, I'll just loosen the clamps and send my snake down the drain rather than try to put it in from that right strainer, which would be suicide. And this is how it worked. So there it is, guys. That was pretty cool. You don't see too many island sinks here in Bay Ridge. I asked her to send me a photo originally, and then when I saw what the situation was, I wanted to go over there and measure because I wasn't sure how wide the disposal was. But as you can see, I had to scoot that vent over. It turned out pretty good. Originally, she had a countertop switch, and I told her that I would install the switch in the counter, but I will not drill the hole. I didn't want to take responsibility for drilling through that quartz countertop. At that point, they decided to ditch the switch, so to speak, and put that auxiliary magnetic switch that I added onto the disposal before I installed it. And in the future, if that ever clogs, what I would do is just disconnect a couple of no-hub clamps and send a drain snake right down the drain line, and she'll be good to go. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm going to a call now. I believe they have a Gerber. Well, I do believe, because I had to go get the cartridge replacement. They have a Gerber single lever shower body that was dripping. I took a look at this job last week, and I am going there now to replace the cartridge, and I'll get some shots of that. Again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you got some value out of it. If you're not already subscribed, I would ask, please, a subscription would be great. Also, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. But the most important thing you can do is like these videos, because if you don't like them, YouTube just sweeps them under the rug and doesn't show them to anybody. And that's no good for me or for you. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys perhaps in that Gerber cartridge replacement video that I'm on my way to do now. And as always, stay well, folks. Keep out of trouble. It's raining out today. It's a little cool. And I will see you in the next video. Happy plumbing.